Okay, welcome. Today's video is going to be about secondary ignition, in particular the effect of fuel mixture on the spark line. You can see a frozen picture on the scope. We'll get the car running. We're only going to deal with two channels at a high sample rate. On the green channel is the ignition secondary for cylinder 4, and the red channel we are current ramping the injector for 4. During the course of this run, I will put fuel in and out of the cylinder. I have ways of doing that, and we'll see the effect on a fuel that's getting the right amount of a cylinder that's getting the right amount of fuel, and a cylinder that's getting way too little fuel, and the effect it has on spark line. I will start the car and then start the scope. Actually, I'll start the scope first, and then we'll start the car. We're triggered on the green channel. Actually, we're triggered on channel B, the injector pulse. So I'll start the scope, and then I'll start the car. We're running normal now. As you can see in red, that's our current ramp for the injector. That's fuel flowing into the cylinder. Green is our secondary. I'm going to rev it up, and we're going to kind of roll through the buffer and see what. Actually, I'm going to start with a fresh buffer. Here we go. Okay. I will stop the scoop and stop the car, and we'll analyze it. Okay, let's take a look. We're going to roll back to the first screen, and when you see red there, when you see that indicates we're getting the right amount of fuel. That is a current ramp. That is our pulse width right here in red. As we can see, we will see how much that is just for the sake of it. About 3.03 milliseconds. The car was idling. As we roll through, let's look at a secondary pattern. This is our burn time. Let's take a look at that. I'm using a capacitive pickup, and we're looking almost a millisecond, maybe almost like 900 microseconds. Sometimes the capacitive pickups don't give you the best signal. It's just the way it is. See, we're rolling along, and we gave it some fuel now. We're under load. Let's go back to the load when the pulse width widened up. That's our fuel, and that's our spark. Okay, let's bring her down and analyze. Okay, a lot of turbulence there. Let's see if we can get into a better one. Okay. That's our turbulence. We are getting fuel. Some turbulence is normal. Excessive turbulence is an issue. No turbulence is an issue. It's too smooth. The spark is copping a ride somewhere outside the combustion chamber. We are on decel there. We start to idle here. Let's take a look at our fuel and our spark. Okay, there's our burn time. Let's take a look at one where we start to lose fuel. Where we rev up. Okay.
Come on, let's go. You got shoes?
Okay.
Did he bring shoes?
Right here. All right. I'm gonna give it some. See what we look like. All right. Okay. This is a cylinder that. Ooh boy, that's a good one. We can see here. That's a cylinder that's losing fuel. You can see the spark line kind of curving up. The spark line kind of. Let me get some vertical zoom. All righty. Take a look at that. Right here. This is a cylinder that's right there. That's a cylinder that's losing fuel. I've created a lot of resistance to that injector. You can see it in red. It doesn't have a good pulse width, and that thing is moving up. There's turbulence, and then it kind of escalates up high. That cylinder is definitely lean. Air is not as good as a conductor as fuel, and it kind of high points at the end of the spark line, almost around 27 kV. So that's something just to bear in mind. That is a textbook cylinder that's very low on fuel. If no fuel in it, would definitely cause a misfire. Let me get back to one. You can take a snapshot of that if you'd like. That right there has got a high point. Let's go back to one more, and let's look at a normal one that's getting its proper fuel. Okay, right here. Let's see. Okay, that's not the best looking one, but obviously it doesn't curve up as much as the other one. As far as that peak kV, we're down to about 11 on the highest point of the kV. Kind of zoom in on there. It looks kind of like that. As I said, it's not the best looking one. We can get a more, but nonetheless, you never get perfection when you do an ignition secondary. It's kind of just one of those things. There's one right there. You can see that may be more normal looking, although that one's moving up a little bit. Anyway, that's ignition secondary, and the effect of a cylinder that's running very lean on the spark line. It would also affect the firing line. The firing line would go up because it always takes more initial kV to light a lean mixture than a rich mixture. Anyway, this one may look a little better. What's that kV going to? That one's pretty high. It may be recovering, but nonetheless, thanks for watching the video. It's a short one, and it had to do with ignition secondary and the effects of fuel mixture on ignition secondary. Thanks a lot. Take care.